One costs $8,000, the other $15,000. They're made by the same parent company, use similar movements, and look almost identical. So why would anyone pay double for what seems like the same watch? Today we're settling the debate that's been dividing watch collectors for years. Rolex Submariner versus Tudor Black Bay. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one deserves your hard-earned money, and the answer might surprise you. Before we dive in, I want you to do something. Look at the comments right now and tell me which team you're on, Team Rolex or Team Tudor. I guarantee by the end of this video, at least 30% of you will change your minds. And stick around to the end, because I'm going to reveal the one factor that makes this decision a no-brainer for most people. Let's start with the king, the Rolex Submariner 124060. This is the watch that defined the dive watch category and has been virtually unchanged for decades, and there's a reason for that. First, the movement. The caliber 3230 is an absolute masterpiece. 70-hour power reserve, completely anti-magnetic, and accuracy that's almost supernatural. We're talking plus or minus 2 seconds a day, certified by COSC, and then tested again by Rolex. Second, the case construction. This isn't just 904L steel, it's oyster steel, which is literally the same grade used in aerospace, chemical industries. It's harder and more corrosion resistant and polishes to a mere finish that stays looking new. Third, the resale value. Buy a Submariner today, and in 5 years you'll likely sell it for what you paid for or more. It's not just a watch, it's a liquid asset. But here's where it gets interesting, the waiting list. Unless you have a relationship with an authorized dealer, you're looking at 2 to 5 years, and that's if they even put you on the list. The price, $8,400 retail, but good luck finding one for less than $12,000 on the secondary market. For a time-only dive watch, that's serious money. And here's the controversial one, it's almost too perfect. Every detail is so refined that some collectors find it sterile. Where's the character, the soul? Now enter the challenger, the Tudor Black Bay 58. This is where things get really interesting, because Tudor isn't just copying Rolex, they're improving on the formula in some surprising ways. The size, at 39mm, this is what the Submariner should have been all along. It wears perfectly on any wrist, while the Submariner at 41mm can feel overwhelming on smaller wrists. The vintage aesthetic. That snowflake hand, the glit accents, the slightly domed crystal, this has character that the Submariner just can't match. It's like wearing a piece of horological history. The movement. Here's the shocker. The MT5402 is actually better than the Rolex movement in some ways. 70-hour power reserve, silicone balance spring, and it's chronometer certified. Plus, Tudor's quality control has become absolutely ruthless. Availability. Walk into any Tudor dealer tomorrow and you can walk out with one. No games, no waiting list, no having to buy jewelry to prove your loyalty. But it's not perfect. The bracelet, while good, doesn't have that vault-like solidity of the Rolex. The clasp mechanism feels slightly less refined. Resale value. While Tudor's resale has improved dramatically, it's not quite in the Rolex territory. Buy a Black Bay today and you'll lose 20 to 30% the moment you walk out the door. And brand perception. Like it or not, Tudor doesn't carry the same social weight as Rolex. At a business meeting, people notice the crown. So, here's where the rubber meets the road. I'm going to compare these watches in 5 categories that actually matter. Daily wearability. Tudor wins. The 39mm case is just more versatile, and the thinner profile slides under shirt cuffs better. Build quality. This is Closer than you think, but Rolex edges out with that oyster steel in overall finishing. The tolerances are just tighter. Value proposition. Well, Tudor destroys Rolex here. You're getting 90% of the watch for 50% of the price. Exclusivity. Rolex wins by default. Scarcity creates desirability, whether we like it or not. Long-term ownership. Here's where it gets complicated. The Rolex will likely appreciate, but the Tudor will give you more joy day to day. But here's what nobody wants to admit. If you covered up the logos, handed both watches to a non-watch person, they couldn't tell you which costs twice as much. The differences are subtle, and most of what you're paying for with the Rolex is the name and artificial scarcity. However, and this is the big however, that name recognition and resale value are real benefits. If you can afford the Rolex without stretching your budget, it's probably the smarter financial choice. But if spending $12,000 plus on a watch means sacrificing other life's goals, the Tudor is actually the better choice. You'll enjoy wearing it more, you'll stress out less, and honestly, it's a better conversation starter because it shows you actually know watches beyond just the other obvious choice. So here's my final verdict, and I know it's gonna trigger some of you. If you're buying your first luxury watch, buy the Tudor. If you're building a collection and already have other pieces, buy the Rolex. If you have smaller risks, buy the Tudor. If you want maximum resale value, buy the Rolex. If you want to actually wear your watch daily without worry, buy the Tudor. If you want the ultimate status symbol, buy the Rolex. But here's the plot twist I promised. There's actually a third option that beats both of these watches in value and wearability, and I'll reveal it if this video gets 100 likes. Trust me, it's going to shock you. Drop a comment right now. Are you on Team Rolex or Team Tudor? And tell me why. I read all these comments and I'll be responding to the most interesting ones. If this video helped you make a decision, smash that subscribe button because next week I'm comparing the Omega Speedmaster to the Rolex Daytona. And that comparison is going to be even more controversial than this one.